Installation. Let's play. Game over.
In a quiet little town in Belgium, the epic battle for honor and glory is about to unfold. Zemst is once again the heart of Europe's biggest curling league. With 29 teams from 8 mighty nations, the competition is heating up on the coldest surface known to man. The stage is set for a historical new chapter. Watch the epic unfolding of the new season. Will the reigning champion dominate the series? Or will N19 rise up and revive old glory? Are the Tigers the dangerous outsiders? Or could it be the desperate housekeepers? We welcome hard sweeping power from the east, dazzling charm from the north, strategic battle plans from the south, and nerves of steel from the west. We're gonna see devastating duck duels and rock-solid wisdom from Stone Good. We may not have Canada's heroic Homan, Matt's badass Stars and Stripes, or a Swedish Viking princess like Anna. But our league forges its own legends. Meet the magician, Peekaboo Caro, the little general, Gatling Gun Tom, the GOAT, Mustache Man, and don't forget the Walter. We'll express our uncensored opinion. Celebrate only the very best of shots, and seduce you with our sweet voices. Because that is what we do. We simply love curling, and we are devoted to bring this exciting, roaring game out into the world.
What a play!
Good evening, curling fans. Welcome into a Sunday evening edition of Belgian Curling here on Curdia TV. We've got an international matchup tonight. 2 non-Belgian teams, Detroit Napoca from Romania versus Schrobkes from the Netherlands. Really looking forward to this one. It should be a pretty good matchup. How are you doing this evening, Pim?
I'm doing pretty good. I had to rush a little bit to get here in time because there was a small hour change or minute change. Tournament director decided, well, why wait until 8:30 if we can bring this match already early, an exclusive preview for our members. So both John and I rushed down here. Also moved the camera to the C sheet for some reason. So a little bit of hectic work, but none of you would be bothered by any of that because we are here and we are streaming. We're not sweating at all. I just took off my pants to.
There's a reason why the camera stops at our waist. Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a great game. And also the BCL had a lot of games this weekend. Too much to really update all of the standings and our stream assets, but we did update the League B2, the standings there, and we'll drop some stuff on socials later or in the course of next week. But let's have a look at the standings at League B2, because first of all, a big congratulations to Dun Schrobkes team from Curling Club Tilburg for winning their group. We can already announce that 11 points, but Kekkuln played all their matches 10 points. And then the other teams cannot catch up anymore. One team going up. This is the Dutchies. So we will have a Dutch team, League A, as of next season. Is that the first time in the history, or at least the first time since a long time? I don't really recall having a Dutch team in League A for at least.
I think it's the first time since Kurdia started. So
definitely
the long history of 3 years that we've got going on. First time we'll have a Dutch team in League A. Really excited to see that. These are a nice young team. Bart's also started taking up coaching. He's now the coach of the Belgian women's national team. We'll be going with them to Östersund, Sweden.
Östersund, yeah. Östersund. I don't know how Swedish people would pronounce it, but it's Östersund for sure.
Not like that, I'm sure, but close in. That's all they're getting from me. But they'll be going to the C Division European Championships next month. End of April, so it'll be interesting to see that. Bart will be showing off his skipping skills here tonight on the ice, trying to get everybody doing his bidding and getting these stones close to the pin. Not going to be an easy task, though. Despite their position in the standings, Detroit Napoca is a tough team. They actually bring 2 teams with them to Belgium. The first weekend, they bring the junior girls. This is their men's national team this weekend, so kind of a different look, but this is a way we allow the teams to register up to 7 players in the league, so they can bring whoever they like if they're registered. So we see different strategies here. It does kind of mean that the record I don't think is accurate for them. They play a tough schedule the first weekend with the 3 girls, then they bring the men's team, and it's a completely different look.
For sure, yeah. So I think and I hope this will be a balanced game, but I think it will be. I think it will be a close game. But yeah, Group B, other teams here. Kekkuln played a strong season again. Kekkuln relegating from Ligue A and now just a 1 loss away from going back up again. I think that's a strong team as well. Luxembourg. That's another Luxembourg than a couple of years ago. They used to have the lineup with Dan Kelly, Alex Benoit, but now they have Rick as their skip, and I think he plays last stones. That makes a difference on the team here. Arctic Foxes, national women's team. They are training on the sheets, or 2 sheets next to the game, and that's the team that Bart Klomp is going to try and get in the European B division next season as well. And then, of course, the Romanians, another Luxembourgian team. And maybe a surprise here, seeing Sweep Charlemagne 7th. They had to play Luxembourg today, the do-or-die game. The loser of that game has a big chance of relegating back to C. And I think Sweep Charlemagne will probably have to start in C next season, but that kind of depends if new teams join, other teams drop out. There is an off chance, but they have to hope for the best, and if not, they have to start over in C and come back again. And then Begeleiding, yeah, they're still a new team. They fought pretty well so far, but it's not that big of a surprise that League B is a strong competition for them.
Yep. I see some members of the Team Vareka coming in. Tur Jeroen, welcome on in, everybody. So we're going to be... Are they doing their LSD? I'm just taking a quick peek. Looks like they're doing... Nope, they have started. So, yeah, they're on a bit of a compressed timeline. So we're going to jump back to the booth, and we're going to give our predictions. So you can see the numbers above our heads. I am leading the season prediction every broadcast. We pick the winner. You guys have a poll in chat. You can pick your winner as well and root them on. I was the winner last night, so Pim has the honor of first pick tonight. And I'll let you do it.
Yeah, I am going to pick the skip of Detroit, Napoca. I played against him at in Dumfries at the qualification event for the mixed doubles. I think, as you mentioned before, this team is the national Romanian team, and they've shown with this lineup they're a pretty strong team. So enough reasons for me to go with Team Romania. But there's one extra reason: they have the coolest name in the league, Detroit Napoca. That's I asked like, what's the story behind the name, and the official story is the guys just made up the name and they think it's cool sounding. Maybe there is an unofficial reason, but we'll have to dig a little bit further to find out more about that.
Yeah, they didn't tell us. But so Pim is picking Detroit Napoca. I am going to counter. It's really hard for me. You can't pick against the champion. I think they've shown they're strong. They've won this division. They deserve the promotion to A. They're going to be a tough team to play against. I think Bart is really smart, good tactics, very capable skip. So I am looking forward to this match, and I'm going to choose them and ride or die with my Yellowstones. So that is going to be it for us. We're going to jump out onto the ice and sit back, relax, and enjoy the match. Oops, wrong. If I jump to the right screen. There we go.
Yeah.
Eric, good evening. Mr. Flovey, rooting for Bartje.
Oh yeah, a lot of Dutch fans, I suppose.
Let's find out where they are in the... Looks like... Oh no, that was the LSD. I was rushing. They had a stone.
Why did you rush this?
Because they had a stone in the house. It looked like they were calling for this, so we kind of rushed through everything. But you know, they're not here to see our faces. They're just here to listen to our pretty voices and intelligent banter. So looks like we've got an LSD going on. That was the first one. I only saw one of the Schrobkes LSDs. That one was only halfway in the house, so probably around a 160. This one was a little bit better for Detroit Napoca. But
while they're doing the LSDs, I think we can just announce that we're always having an eye on chat, and we see a lot of people tapping in here tonight. We have Mr. Flovey, Dan, Danielle driving back from Belgium to Luxembourg. The GOAT tour with the memorable words bang bang. Maybe that's a hint towards Detroit. I don't know. You're the American.
Well, yes, but no comment. We're actually seeing a lot of votes already in the poll. Good job, chat. Love to see that. We like to have the interaction with everything.
Oh, we have Erik Dijkstra here as well.
Yep.
And he is raising the glass to the Dun Schrobkes.
And if I recall, Dun Schrobkes, it's a local beer.
Yeah, it's
from
a local
Utrecht?
beer from
Tilburg, not Utrecht.
Sorry,
Sorry,
don't
sorry.
say Utrecht. Oh, John.
wrong Dutch city. Pardon me. First time I'm wrong, and it's almost offensive.
Yeah, we could ask Erik, is it Tilburgians or Tilburgers? That's the question we had last time. How do you announce a citizen of Tilburg in English? I wouldn't know for sure.
In English, I would say Tilburgers, but how would you say it in Dutch? What is the correct term for someone from Tilburg in Dutch? And then we can figure out if Tilburgers is correct or if that's also another slur. I believe the Romanians have won the hammer. Yes, they have. So I will get the scoreboard up to date. Oh no, it is up to date. Woohoo! We'll get it on the screen. There we go.
Oh, Daniel saying, in case it's Luxembourg, you address them as the Luxemburgers.
Luxemburgers.
The Tilburgers seems about right. So the burger team from Tilburg is about to kick off here. It's Dagmar Diender.
Let's get the skips.
Het
They
is hier
are mic'd
waarschijnlijk
up.
nog heel vers.
There we go.
C3. Oké, push hem maar.
This
Okay,
one
push
coming
him.
in
Naar beide.
nicely. Little draw. Center guard.
Oké. Prima. Ja,
Just
Kan het wel
off the
kunnen
center
bedenken.
line.
het is denk ik
And Bart Klomp being the fresh new coach for the Belgian women's team, I wonder if Erik took a chance to warn him a bit, or at least to kind of give some context to know what he's up to, because I don't think it's going to be an easy one.
Een kaas over jou, mooi terug. Over jou een kaas. Hi.
Yeah, we were discussing yesterday, and with Barty was in chat and saying he had a brief conversation with Kim, or an extended conversation with Kim, and we reminded him that all conversations with Kim are extended. She is a prolific talker.
Under the coaching of Esther Romain, the Belgian women's team won the gold medal at the Euro season, promoted to B. So the bar has been set. Not to kind of put the pressure on Bart too much, but
Uitkijken dan.
There is a legacy there to live up to.
Push hem als je kan. Kan niet.
This one's a bit heavy, coming wide, not really getting that much curl. This is one of the things we've noticed about the ice this weekend is things are a little heavy, the curl does not appear. So if you got a nice draw weight, you'll get some curl on it, but it does not always once you start getting the weight up. So something for the teams to pay attention to.
Taking off auto.
Tudor here with his second stone of the end. Showing off that with that tight shirt that he likes the gym. He's definitely a strong sweeper. A little bit heavy on this one. This one also staying wide.
If you don't go to the gym, all shirts become tight at some point.
Just in different ways. This one manages to stay in the house. Does not get quite behind the guard, though. Is it just me, or does it seem like Bart's microphone is quite loud as compared to Alan's?
Zijn ze oké?
Yeah, that's the case. I mean, I didn't hear
Okay.
Alan that
Blijf nog
much
iets
so
bij.
far. Maybe he's more quiet.
Wilt wel nu, blijf erbij. Hij rent waarschijnlijk hard op.
Oh, I
Hij
actually
rent
see why.
Yep. Hard.
There we go. Let's bring
All
him
the
down
way.
to a reasonable level. This one coming in around the guard. Trying to get this one into the house and just biting behind the guard.
Has quite a nice curl over on that side, just as Bart mentioned. They tend to just die and curl in. Detroit Napoca opting to clear those guards, having the hammer. Wise decision.
Working the broom, gonna get this off, wanting to drag the Redis to the side as well.
Okay.
Look at that, opens things up. Fantastic stone there. Shoot, I can't believe I just used fantastic for the first time on a
And
on
a
a
Swedish
peel.
curl. So all of a sudden they have a corner guard and a stone in the house just biting. Excellent here.
Sorry?
What a great revenue.
Great result, yeah.
Ja, dat kan op zich. Gooi hem 11. Oké. Back weight.
So far, most of the fan vote heading towards Den Schrobkes, but still lots of time to get your votes in. We close the poll after the fifth end. Sometimes the fourth, but I think I've been doing it in the fifth lately, so we'll leave it at that.
Oké.
So if you're not sure, you've got time to wait and see how things shake out
Push
first.
all the way. Blijven gaan.
This one's going to get around the guard. It's going to get on that yellow and the red in the back, and kind of stays open though. Nice hit. Checking to see which is second shot. Going for the hit and roll here. Unfortunately, on the C sheet, we don't have overhead cams, so we kind of have to guess just like you on what's out there.
Whoa. Marcel. はい、問題ない。はいはいはい、すぐ、はい。はいはい。お、そう。
This one's going to get over on the inside part of the nose. Perfect. You can't ask for a better shot than that. I guess maybe you can see a centimeter of two poking out the side, but that is going to be difficult to actually get around, so they're going to be playing a draw in, use it as backing. Try to get just above the tee line behind that guard. And this first stone here of the evening.
Yep, line. Hard.
Calling for sweep on the line.
Lifeguard.
Feels a bit on the light side, trying to drag this down as far as they can. But this is going to curl over and come up light.
Okay.
Yeah, the Schrobkes, as we mentioned, going to A. I think it's always nice to have another foreign team joining League A. A lot of diversity there. And then the other B group. At this point, Grey Ducks are leading the group, but they finished. They have 1 point more than Team Reese, but Team Reese, they have to come for 3 more games. So chances is Team Reese, if they win 1 more game, they will finish the group as the, let's say, champion or group winner of that group. So far, virtually Grey Ducks and the Schrobkes but probably Reese.
Yeah, they are going to be the odds-on favorite to advance unless something catastrophic happens.
I kind of expected the Broomies to play Team Reese in that final weekend for the promotion game, but the Broomies didn't have the best weekend this weekend. They had 2 losses and therefore were ruled out for winning their group.
Yep.
That is okay.
The Luxembourg women team, Galefran, they were super happy to win against the Broomies because they said, well, we lost against the Broomies pretty hard, like 16-1 or something like that in the first round, and now they got to set things straight.
They got their revenge.
Yeah.
Johanna Hess was out from Austria playing this weekend for them, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
It was her first appearance in this round.
Okay, make sure. Yep. Okay, well, alleen lengte.
This one should be around the guard, wanting this one to curl around.
Push him.
Trying to get it on the nose, so roll in.
Nice.
And then taps it back. Nice shots.
Yeah, I like this one. It's sitting shot there, and with the 2 red ones behind it, it's not easy to just clear it. There is a bit of room.
Yep, going for control weight here. Yeah, if they can just catch it on the edge, it will go, and those 2 reds should stay. They will lose the shooter, but I think that's a reasonable sacrifice.
Boogie. Hi, Boogie.
Apparently Bogdan's nickname is Boogie.
Yeah.
Like that. That's going to get over. Catches that red in the back, though, so they are going to lose one of those shots, but still sitting. It gets rid of the yellow, sitting in shot position, although they are exposed.
They still have that second red one biting there in the front, so they can still score 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, it's difficult to know if that yellow one that's biting the top, which one, because they're both, from our angles, they're not touching very much, so which one is touching a little bit more.
Yeah, true.
I think we're going to see probably backline draw here. Maybe not even that far, maybe back 4, just to try to maybe get a tap over under the guards. Feels more like hack weight.
Yep. Hard line.
Needing to sweep this to make sure it gets past. Okay, not hack weight. Actually coming up a little bit light.
Oh, has enough weight. Tap, tap, tap could be an interesting one, but don't think it carries deep enough.
It does. Gets that yellow one in, so they're most certainly second shot. That's going to be interesting. So Allen's turn to come in, skip from Detroit Napoca. They are, or he is going to probably try to draw in as well. They've got that backing, get something in behind. Even half covered by those two guards in the middle would be ideal. Something top 8, top 4 would be perfect. Oh, we have our first vote for a tie. I love the cockeyed optimism of the ties. But we did see there was one earlier this afternoon, and we have actually quite a few during this round, so it's not impossible. Trying to work this one hard, get it around the guards, but I think it's going to crash on that middle yellow.
Oh, an unfortunate miss here.
It does cover things up, but yeah, Bart looking at
the angles here.
I think there is an angle.
Yeah, the way those two stones
nose to here, yeah, might push that one back onto that.
I think it's worth a try, maybe. The angles are there for sure. Second option is go for a draw. And are these two yellow stones really kind of locked against each other? Because if so, then all you need to do is, I think, just make sure you have the weights, have them touch, and then you're setting up for a steal.
Yeah. Wayne is admitting to being the tie. He had to give it a tie, having been a member of Tilburg, but also had Kolban as a friend on Facebook. Well, Wayne, you know, I love the optimism. I'm glad to have you in here. It's been a while since we've seen you. Hope you're doing well. And you know, hey, why? You know, if you've got ties to both, connections to both teams, why not pick a tie?
So Wayne was a member of Tilburg, as a member of the city, or member of the team.
I think of the club.
Yeah,
I'm most likely the club.
I will do hard. Go hard, yep.
Hessel with the heavy sweep, now pulling in the. Trying to sweep it, making sure just for length. Line is good. Or they thought it was good. Clips off that yellow. And
Swedish girl
trying to get that in there. Get a little bit. Yeah. So, relatively straightforward takeout here for the Romanians to take 2 on their hammer. We have seen, I personally have missed shots like this, so you never know, it's possible, but very likely. Am I trying to speak it into existence? Perhaps. It's a little tight, calling hard for the line.
Oh, will he spill the shooter?
Will he make some kind of... Oh, he gets the unfortunate double and just one.
Yeah, lucky break here for then Schrobkes, and a bit of a miss for the Romanian national team. An option.
A little bit tight out of his hand, so curled over a bit. And what was I saying earlier about how if the weight's up, it doesn't curl as much? Well, who is surprised that I am wrong? Although... I think he was more tight that it over curled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, straight from the start, it looked like it was very close to that center line. Having to reset the scoreboard. The previous team has their score out there. I think that's Viri against N19, where Viri won 7-5 against N19, or was it different?
No, it was a tie, 7-7.
Well, oh yeah, that was the case.
All right, Tudor starting things off here in end number 2. For Detroit Napoca, they took 1 on their hammer. And I think Schrobkes will be pretty happy with that.
Hai să treacă, hai.
Member of Tilburg Curling Club for 3 years.
Okay.
This one, the high center guard is on the center line, so the center line rule, no tick rule, however you want to call it, is in effect. But being so high, I think Schrobkes are just going to come around it, try to get into the house first.
Lijn zit erop. Oké.
Line is a little tight.
Oké, lijn is ook prima. Alleen lengte.
Hessel doing the power
Yep,
clean,
yep,
just
yep,
leaning
yep,
on the
yep,
broom.
yep.
Now he
Alright,
starts to
hard.
sweep, wanting to drag this one as deep
Alright.
as they can.
Even erin.
This one is light. It's going to get
Yeah.
around the guard, but I think that's going to end up short of the house on the center line. So now we've got a double center guard here for whichever team wants it first. Detroit coming in saying, let's go. Allen putting his broom behind the guards, saying, let's get it here.
În interior, mătură. Unde-i? Mătură. Cal de linie. Wow, wow, wow! Cât de înceată.
Pulling off the sweep, likes the line, but this one's curling over early. That's going to tap on that yellow. Is it going to have enough to move it off the center line? Bart trying to sweep it. Nope, stays there, so they dodge a bullet with that one. Not having to remove the stone, remove the shooter. Ooh, the
Lijn is beter.
votes are starting to even out a little bit. Napoca getting a
Yeah,
few
okay.
more votes. Still behind on Schrobkes, still the
Ik
fan
geloof je.
favorite, but
Hij lijkt wat hard. Hij blijft echt heel recht nu.
getting some more. This one feels
Deze
wide and heavy, and yeah,
Michael.
Bart can do nothing but laugh at it. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this one out, but it will stay exposed.
Ja, goed.
Vrei pe partea aia sau pe?
Being back of the 8-foot means that Allen can call for his team to just come back into the house, get to the button.
Unde-i? Unde-i? Linie.
Sweeper staying off of it.
Cal de linie. Cal de linie. Wow, wow.
Now
linie.
calling for line. This is going to be well around the guards.
Mătură atunci în asta. Mătură pe linie, pe linie, pe linie. Mătură.
Feels a bit heavy, but they're going to sweep it to try to tick on that yellow, get it to move. Good save there from the sweepers. Keeps it in the house, gets it behind the guards, but it is back of the 8-foot.
Yeah, both teams kind of struggling finding that good T-line weight, putting it in the 4-foot.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a classic overcorrection. First couple were a little short, so you kind of go a little bit heavier, and it's just trying to making the adjustments that are a bit can be a bit tricky.
Lijn is oké.
Hessel's opportunity here.
10.
Dagmar and Linda just cleaning the
Kijk, niks bij.
cleaning the path in front of the
Wel
stone.
hard, blijf erbij. Hij lijkt heel goed. Push hem als je kan. Push
The
hem.
line is
Kan
good.
je?
Trying to call for them to push it around, trying to curl. Weight is good. It's just not getting that last little bit of movement over. But stays above the tee line. Half covered. But probably open for a hack weight.
Dăm freeze la asta? Ce? Da, nu-mi place poziția asta aici.
All right, Alan's saying let's put this one above the corner freeze possibly so they can move that yellow one out later with one of their own stones. I like this call.
Play. Mătură. Mătură ușor. Linia e bună. Mătură de linie, mătură de linie. Hai, 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 hai. Unde e? Hai, hai, hai. Hai, hai, hai.
Sweeping hard to hold the line, trying to bring this down. I think it's going to overcurl a little bit. Just misses that, but ooh, unfortunately going to get inside, overcurls.
Yeah, not what they want here.
Yep. That actually protects that yellow one just a little bit more. It's going to make it that much harder to get over there. And I'm not quite sure if yellow or red is the shot stone here.
I think it's yellow, but I have to have a second look here.
Okay.
Well past the guards. This is going to curl over.
Push sowieso maar. Yep. Oh.
Going to try to push this one over. Not going to get protected is shot, but
Ja, toch iets minder.
sitting out in the open, so hit and roll here for opportunity for Christian.
Als je daar komt, fiets, aanstaan, fietsen, dan moet je oké. Daar, droog.
If my Romanian is correct, and it probably isn't, it looks like they're going for just like kind of a slightly heavy draw. Not really wanting to push the yellow out of the house, just wanting to be enough to hit and roll in to get under cover.
En dan vader, twee zoeken geweest. Hij moet die geweest. Hij moet die geweest. Hi.
Trying to sweep this to curl it over. Feels wide. Not sure that's going to get over at all.
Yeah, it's very wide.
Yeah, that's going to stay on the outside, and the worst case would be actually tapping that yellow one over. Doesn't quite get there. Stays in a position they can use it to go after that yellow, so this is going to kind of force Bart to make a decision here.
Ja, het is dat of gewoon de draw. Dat is op zich niet heel slecht. Doe maar de hit and roll. 11 seconden.
Going to play a hit and roll. 11 seconds, hog to hog. A moderately paced stone, not too heavy.
Clean. Yep. Oh. Clean.
So it's going to catch a bit on the nose, trying to get it to curl over a little bit. I think that is, and it's going to roll over.
I like it.
Sits dead in front. Yeah, I like it too. It's kind of locked in that yellow, but I think if they get on the inside part of the nose, they might be able to drag both of them over.
Yeah.
But they could also run it back onto that red, so...
Whoa. Hunter! High to
hold this one hard because it's really tight to the guard. Oh, it catches that yellow in the middle there. Takes it out of the way. Now gives...
Ja, ik denk...
What is Bart going to look at here?
Ze hebben hier linksom hebben ze misschien iets, maar dit is het enige wat ze... Ja, ik denk dit. Dan heb je altijd nog door te tappen. Waarschijnlijk gooi je dan een dubbel, maar dit is te daarom.
Looks like they're two for sure, possibly three.
Yeah, I think
So
they're just closing things up and then forcing Detroit Napoca to try a difficult stones.
3-12.
Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, put
3-12.
something just about here would be good. Take away the draw and the inside part of that yellow there.
Yeah, options here for then Schrobkes to score a couple of points.
Iets krap, yep.
One thinks it's tight, calling for a sweep.
Hard. Hard line.
Trying to get them both on the line.
All the way.
They Don't want this to over curl. If anything, they can get it down. Oh, that is going to over curl.
Could
Ja.
it chip off red and come back, or is it too light?
No, but a little
just
too
Ook als hij
light.
nog wat harder was, dat je nog
Oh.
een chip van die achterste krijgt.
Yeah.
Not a
At least
not
yeah.
a disaster. It does take away that kind of inside line a little bit, but I think a backline stone would allow them to get around it and then get onto the middle inside to hit and roll into shot.
Not an easy stone though.
No, definitely not.
At least Yellowstone is making the gap a bit more tight.
Good, great. Good.
You're saying a perfect draw coming up. To living in the future, as always.
Exactly what he says. I see the future.
I see the future. Yeah, sees the matrix.
There is no spoon.
Daar de linie.
Calling for the line. Feels like
Minus
that's
tight. Yeah.
Hij doet het!
really trying to get this hard. Nope, that's going to over curl, catch that yellow. Opens things up, but yeah,
Ja,
it's
ik
going to
denk
be
het wel.
another opportunity for
Ja, maar dit ijs, ik denk dat het wel close is.
Bart to just close it up.
Kijk, waarom het liefst niet te diep, want dan heb je misschien wel dubbel.
Tour never said when the perfect draw was coming up, just that it was in the
Oh.
future. Or wrong timeline. There you go.
He's in a different parallel universe
Yeah.
where
Ja, dit is gewoon 3.
In infinite timelines and
Yep.
infinite universes, there would have been at least
Hier
one with a
stond of
perfect
zo.
draw.
Lijn is krap.
Looks all right. Maybe a little on the heavy side might come into the house. No, that's going to be just fine. Gonna let that one go. Don't want this to over curl. Settle down right there. Beautiful.
what do you do if you're Detroit Napoca? Stealing is kind of off the table, so is there a potential damage control option there?
Well, they've got an option here, trying to run this red somehow in there, but I think that's such a long shot. This high center guard there actually hurts them a lot because they can't. It's going to make it very difficult to run 3 red stones back onto a yellow and then hope something lies there.
I think running in the corner guards is maybe their most feasible option.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a matter of finding an angle, and if it's
Are they potentially looking at this onto here that it potentially goes over there and spills, but then that runs the risk of getting onto their own red and
yeah, the risk is indeed losing your own red in the bag and then running in another yellow stone.
or they could be onto this red yellow, onto this red,
Yeah, that makes
onto
more sense.
these.
That makes more sense. I think that's the option they're looking for. Also not easy, of course.
Nope. So pretty good end for the Schrobkes, forcing the Detroit Napoca to take this kind of shot at the end.
Whoa. Matra, Boogie,
All
Boogie.
about the angle here.
And
It is
gets
second shot, I think.
one of them. It's really hard to tell. Got some things moving around there.
And it's they're looking at it, so it's either a second shot or shot. It's hard to tell, but I think that's a great result, even from a damage control.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take like that such a
It's
low
op zich wel
percentage
raar.
shot and you get something out of it. That's
Ja, die ligt sowieso.
If they can
Ik wil hem best proberen.
avoid the Schrobkes from scoring 2 or more, I would say that was a great outcome of that final stone here. And Linde and Bart looking at angles
Ik denk
here.
op zich, het scheelt wel iets, dus geef maar een halve bezig.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
gonna
if they make it, I see a lot of yellow there. Something they definitely have to try. The
Yeah.
bonus is so huge.
coming onto there, getting it on this. Ideally, nose hit. That would be a 6.
That would be 6.
Ja, je kan opsteppen.
That would be huge.
This is one of those low percentage shots where the risk is worth the reward. They, even if the shooter doesn't stay,
Een
or
klein
if they
haakje
can
minder.
only tap the red a little bit, it could still get them a couple of points. I don't think they can. Well, they can't do any worse than giving up 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Yeah.
Eric. It's a shot you always take in the
Hard.
first. Getting hard on the brooms, trying to get this over. Is it there?
Yes, it's
and
there.
it is. Shooter rolls, or the
That's still
promoter
5.
rolls out. That is a 5 house and a fantastic stone from Bart there.
Yeah, Bart the
Incredible.
master. He deserves a little bit of a zoom in spotlights. Don't move too much, little Bart there. Trying to catch your pretty face with the smiles, but yeah, what an extraordinary last
That's
2
amazing,
stones
yeah.
here.
Eric,
Great stones.
I'm way ahead of you. Already clicked that button. That is 100% ending up on the highlight reel. That will be a clip out on the interwebs before you know it. Fantastic shot for Bart. And yeah, early in the match, take that shot. And that's what happens when you get it. And that's going to give him a big lift. You know, not only is it 5, but just the thought of making that shot's going to get that, get your confidence up. So fantastic stone there from Bart. That's worthy of a repeat of the F word. Fantastic. Now we have to settle things down. Come back in. Dagmar will be starting. End number 3.
Blijf mooi.
A big 5 house for Dun
zeker in.
Schrobkes
Make
gives them a
sure.
5-1 lead over Detroit Napoca.
Yeah, in the handbook
Hij
of
rent hem
curling, they
hard
call the
af.
strategy give 1, take 5. That's a very successful
Doe
strategy.
hem, push hem als je kan. Hij blijft wat recht. Oh, blijf kijken, blijf kijken. Blijf
Oh,
kijken.
wait,
Oh.
yeah. Really easy when you don't mind either team winning. Yep. This
sorry,
one a
was
bit
net
heavy.
een andere
Comes
paas
into the
That's
house.
not the worst. Suddenly they have a 4-point score lead, so why not put it in the house?
Yep.
Avem două variante, aici sau gard. Hai să jucăm gard.
Oh, just as Detroit Napoca takes the lead in the fan poll, they give up a 5 house. But still early on, and I know this is a really strong team, so it's Dun Schrobkes are going to have to not get too confident here.
Vrei știu, care două parte. Hai. Aici.
Interesting call here to do the corner guard over to the side where the yellow is sitting in the house. It's almost giving them a free guard over there.
Nu-i rău.
I would have thought they would have gone out to the other corner.
Mooie bal. Oké, perfect. Op 8 is oké. Zeker in. Hij moet nog curlen. Linda als je kan.
Feels a
I
bit
ran well
wide,
off,
asking
thank you,
Linda to
Coach Curl.
curl it. I want to get this one on the center.
Oké,
But it's just kind of sitting in that
blijf maar pushen.
path over there.
Laatste stukje komt hij nog. Ja, komt wel. Oké.
Comes into the house, just biting on the top. Alan either trying to swat a fly out of the sky or saying it can go anywhere here. I'm going to assume he can let it roll either side. That's all they really want to worry about.
Wow. Trebuie să cadă. Hai, Bughi. Hai, fă să cadă. Hai. Noi și aduc.
Good wait, trying to get this to curl over so it doesn't slide over too much. Gets the rollover. Very happy with that one.
Ik denk precies dezelfde als Dagmar.
So just wanting to set up center guard. Really just gonna try to take away that take away the button. Force Detroit Napoca to keep playing hits.
Okay. Pull hard. Okay.
I'm kidding, it's a little bit heavy.
Nose up. Yep. Yep.
Or a
yep.
lot heavy.
Ah. Heel hard.
And gets a little chip.
Okay.
Rolls that yellow into the back of the house. Keeps the one centered over there.
Whoa.
Did not see Alan if he indicated rolling over to either side.
Hi, what's up? Hi, come in. Hi.
No, unfortunately, it's not going to roll much of either direction. Fairly well on the nose there. Gets rid of that's center
Klein
yellow.
naar rechts misschien. 11.
Interesting call here, wanting to roll the shooter over to the other side of the house. I would have rolled it over towards those red guards. Use them to your advantage. You've got the yellow backing there as well.
Yep.
But I am not a national team coach or team skip, so what do I know?
Go. Push up.
Wanting this to curl over a little bit to get some more roll. Gets rid of it.
Also makes sense to clear red stones. I mean, you have 4-point leads. As long as you just clear every red stone in there, ending up with Detroit Napoca taking one, move on. That makes sense a lot.
I don't argue with the taking out of the red. I just would have thought they would have rolled the shooter over to the other side. Yep. But if they don't get it far enough, then it makes it easier for the Romanians to do the same, to hit and roll underneath cover. So I guess it makes sense.
Whoa.
This one over curling, probably a little bit tight, but that definitely has a lot of curl on it. Moved quite a bit. And unfortunately flashes through, so let's see what Bart's going to do here. Looks like he wants to cover it up.
Gonna have a good stone there in the forefoot, so placing a nice guard all of a sudden puts some pressure.
Yep. Wants to set it up directly in front of that yellow. Right there on the tram track heading into the house. I'm sure there's an official name for the wheelchair lines, but it's probably just wheelchair lines, but I still am going to call them tram tracks.
Nice boy. Okay. Push hem iets als je kan. Okay, push hem maar.
Hanging out over on that side, trying to get this to curl over. Now it starts to curl.
Push maar all the way. Blijf maar gaan.
Trying to just extend that curl as much as they can, trying to get it in front.
That works.
It's a pretty good position. Sweeper's did a pretty good job though of trying to extend the curl, let it get over as much as they can, forcing Alan to play some peels here, keep things open.
Oh. Matura, go.
Oops.
A step there.
Gets the run back, but leaves a guard in front of the red, so... Or, sorry, a red guard in front of the yellow. I missed what Bart's broom is, where he wants it. I think he wants to put it in front of a guard in front of the red. They are still sitting two shots in the house, so without hammer, might as well start to protect them.
Deze oké? Geen lengte.
So with the power
Thank you, I
clean,
will
just
in.
kind of leaning on the broom.
Oké.
Oh,
Push hem
actually
in.
looking to bring this in
Lijkt het
between.
Hij rent wel af. Blijf erbij.
One
Push
is a
maar,
bit
push
heavy.
maar,
I don't
push
want to
hem.
set up a double though. Settles down. I think there's a bit of a gap between the two. Or a little bit of an overlap, so
Alta variantă nu prea văd.
might be harder to
Okay.
do a run back on this one.
Am și varianta asta și să încercăm să o păstrăm. Hai să stăm de pe partea asta.
They've got a couple of options here with this one. I mean, if it over curls, getting rid of that yellow, red is okay. Trying to do a double run back here.
Matura,
Or, sorry, a run back, single run back to a double
Andrew,
takeout.
hai. Go.
So it looks pretty good. Gets over the top. Beautiful stone there.
Ok.
We'll clip that. I like that one a lot. Still leaves.
Yellow has the first and second shots.
Yep.
But other than that, it was a nice shot. But
Takes him away from that guard. Pulls it out of the guard.
Ja.
Or from behind the guard. Looking for a draw into
Ja.
the top of the forefoot behind
Ga
that
ervan uit
red.
dat hij iets bij blijft, maar
yeah,
je kan hem
they
best
still
wel
have that
tussen-
center guards to use it. So I think this stage in the game, they'll just try and bury something behind the guards.
daarom.
And Napoca will have to
Hou er
deal with
rekening
that.
mee met twee.
Napoca looking for options to score more than one here. Not easy. Only 2 more stones for each team. So if Schrobkes, if they are able to put a very good draw come around, then they'll put some pressure on the Romanian team.
Hard.
Dagmar indicating it's heavy. Hessel just kind of
Curls wel hard.
tapping his broom in front of it, and maybe hoping to
Ja,
keep it clean. This one's starting to curl over. It's going to get behind the tee line. Yeah, not quite buried. And backing for Napoca here. So Alan with his first stone has an opportunity to get to a well-covered position with backing. I'd like to point out, I'm rooting against my own broom. Alan has borrowed my broom for this weekend, and I'm rooting against it.
Yeah, true.
My broom is cursed anyway because we lost all of our matches in this round, so it's not like, well, it did win the tournament in Viri last weekend, so it's a bit of a, who knows, a Jekyll and Hyde.
Maturo, Tudor.
Needs to try to get this to curl over, is a little heavy.
Yeah.
I think that's going to slide right by, maybe tap the yellow over just a little bit behind the guards. Linda really trying to pull it back as far as she can.
Great opportunity here for Schrobkes to reattempt that same draw.
we hebben hem gezien. Maar dit, oh no.
Yeah. Schrobkes sitting with
Ik denk
shots.
als we uitrollen is het prima. Ik denk dat we hier juist niet erachter zitten.
Ooh, are they going to take this red one out and force
Yeah,
force a
Gewoon
draw?
normal als we uitrollen is
think
het
so.
prima.
I like
Ik denk
that
dat
call.
Ja, als de draw is.
Potential steal of two,
Als je één tegen krijgt.
but then force to one. Good decision here.
Uitrollen. Yep.
Calling for the sweep. Want to make sure this one holds on. Going out that direction, it does curl a lot more. Most important thing is to get rid of the red. They do. Taps away one of their yellows, but
Yeah, they mentioned they don't mind losing the shooter, spinning the shooter here. The result remains the same. It's kind of forcing the Romanians to make a draw for one here.
yep, drawing against 3, so you definitely do not want to give up the steal here. Full 8 foot is enough. Maybe a little bit more than that.
They have a bit of backing, maybe, with that yellow stone sitting in the back, but probably just want to do it in style and putting it on the pin, or at least T-line weight.
Good. Hi. Hi.
Now trying to drag it down to make sure
Oh, wait that.
weight is there. And that is going to settle in nicely on the tee.
Yeah, this is how you do it. Putting it just right next to the pin, and 1 point added to the top of the scoreboard. 5-2 lead here for Schrobkes. They take back the hammer.
Yeah, good end for them. They really kind of kept things in control, took advantage of an early missed takeout from the Romanians and forcing to 1. So, but good stone from Allen to, when you're facing a steal of 3, having to make sure you get the right weight, right line, and settled in. Obviously, they were a little disappointed they weren't able to score more, but you got to take what you can get sometimes when you have the hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, because just imagine, for some reason, leaving a draw like that short or slightly too heavy, and then the Schrobkes stealing 3 here. That would have been almost game over, I think.
Yep. So Tudor starting things off for Detroit Napoca here in the 4th. They scored 1 on their hammer in the previous end, but still trailed in Schrobkes 5-2. This one's going to be a bit light. Even Tudor coming into sweep, trying to make sure this gets across the hog line. And unfortunately, it does not.
Too bad. They really needed that guard here.
Yeah, even high by the hog line would have been at least something to use.
Edge 12.
Bart saying, let's come into the house. Curl one over to the wing. And I think even for Dunshop, because a hitting match here in this end doesn't hurt them. Even if they score 1, that keeps that 4 point, gives them a 4-point lead. And they just want to give that nice cushion.
All the way, blijf gaan.
Sweeper's working to bring this one down. Skip sweeping. Bart coming out to help to drag it the last few meters.
Nice.
Guard.
There they go. Some nice stone there. Now Tudor has to be careful not to overcompensate. First one coming up light. You don't want to go overcompensate and send it too heavy. This one definitely over the hog line. Sweeper staying off of it. Is this one going to come into the house? Yes, it will. Just biting the top of the house.
Elf.
So Bart saying, let's get rid of it.
Yep.
Keep it clean in the middle. Hit and roll over to the other edge of the house, to the right side of the house would be ideal here.
Clean. Yep. Andere kant, gaan we. Whoa.
This one's going to curl over a bit, so it will roll over to the left. But gets rid of the red. Shooter biting the house. Maybe a little bit light on that one, so a little over curl. Possible double here, but does that really help? Does it really help the Romanians? Not really sure it does. Going to use this outside shot, outside stone for a hit and roll. Use that inner yellow as a guard.
Mătură! Da de linie! Oh. Oh.
We were working to hold the line. Is that gonna go? No, over curls. That's second time we've seen that tonight from Bogdan. It's just having a stone over curl. Was it tight? Did they not give enough ice? That's always tough. I think maybe if he had let the sweep go earlier, they could have clipped that middle yellow, but
is de dubbel alleen maar makkelijker.
Deciding to split the house here.
Reasonably good decision here.
Nee, gewoon T-line. Sorry.
Drawing for T-line here.
Een haartje wijd. Oké, T-line is mooi. Push hem als je kan. Hij lijkt best hard. Ja, oké. Laat me met rust dan. Ja, hij is
This one to settle down might carry too deep. Looks kind of fast. Just a little bit behind T.
Ja,
Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
It's touching T-line, so I would be pretty satisfied if somebody would request put it on the T-line and you're kind of putting it on the T-line.
Yep. The leading edge did technically go over T, so I'm calling myself correct on that. Yeah. But that's what they were saying too. They felt like that was heavy. This one is more outside, but catches the outside of the yellow and rolls out, so...
Yeah, unfortunately losing that shooter here. Don't really have a setup to defense at this point. And, how are they going to try and keep the Schrobkes from scoring too much points in this end? What's their plan so far?
It looks like they need some help on this one. I mean, there's still quite a few stones left to play. Anything can happen, but right now, the Schrobkes not needing to play anything difficult, really just kind of, hey, they've got this guard at the front of the house. Let's get something in behind it. And even if they miss, they're still kind of the house is split.
Nice boy.
So they've got options.
Haartje wijd, hij gaat wel curlen, denk ik. Push hem als je
Just
kan.
holding it. Bart asking for it to curl.
13-7. Ja, hij is back 4.
This one a bit on the heavier side. It will enter behind the tee, but half covered. But yeah, that gives them something to draw against. So
and that's the only downside of trying to do a good draw there. If it's not perfect, you give something to your opponent to play with, either trying to use it as a hit and roll or something to freeze up against. It gives options.
Stay. Da de linie. Da de linie. Da de linie.
It for the line, wanting to make sure this gets around. Feels a little bit on the lighter side. Does get around the guard. Will that get enough down to the yellow? It does. Slight tap.
There is some space between the stones.
Yep.
Wil je hem clean picken?
I think they're going to try and
kan ook normal gooien.
get rid of it, or at least have
Zolang
some
je
way
een net en deze wegneemt,
to create some space between the stones, so they're able to deal with the red stone.
Yep.
Ja, alleen de kans best wel
losing the
groot
guard
dat
is not
hij
the
hier
worst.
gewoon
No. I would say backline,
Do my
maybe
normal.
hack weight at this. Oh, going for a normal weight takeout here. Ooh, I see a change of the percentage, and somebody else has voted for a tie. But Detroit Napoca picking up more votes, taking a 52 to 41% lead in the poll. While you guys are voting in the poll, don't forget to click the like button, the thumbs up. Helps the stream out immensely.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Reaper's working now, being called off.
No. Yep. Yep.
Now wanting to make sure it gets around. This one looks pretty good. Does
excellent.
catch that yellow on the back.
Nice.
Ooh, actually gets everything going.
That's not the worst. I mean, they don't have to score 3 or 4. They're still set up to score 2 in this end, and that's a great result if you have a 3-point lead.
Yep.
Most important thing is clearing the red danger there, and that's mission completed.
I still would have preferred maybe hack weight there just to try to hold the shooter in, because now it's a possibility to get rid of this yellow and then get this red to roll behind the guard. Trying to hold the line here. That's going to get rid of the yellow, but I think it's just a little bit over curled. No, stays in the house. Good stone there.
Yep. Ja, oké. Ik denk... misschien hier gewoon tot 4. Dat gooit iets. Ah, dan ligt ze niet in het huis.
Yeah, no, Yellowstone is slightly annoying for the Dutch Schrobkes because I mean, it's gives options for a team to come around. Preferably they do it themselves, but
yeah, with that red one now, they can't really do like the chip split, where they kind of push it further into the house and then roll the shooter over to the other side of the house, other side of the rings. But I think they're going to try to use it to their advantage now, draw in behind it, and try to take care of that red one later. Yeah, so Wayne, you're not alone picking the tie. We love the bold strategies here on the channel, especially in your voting and your selections.
Make sure. Blijf wat zacht. Ja, alleen lengte. Kijk hem er.
Starting to curl, it's going to get by the guards. Want to make sure it gets deep and buried. Kind of tight. Leaves a double there.
yeah, it really does.
And allows Detroit Napoca to kind of clean out the house, get rid of those yellows, and then suddenly it becomes a more favorable situation for them.
Second option is still try and come around.
Yeah.
For the steal. I mean,
Yeah.
if they allow the Schrobkes to score 1 point, they still have that 4-point lead for Schrobkes they'll have to deal with later in the game.
Yeah, not a bad option coming around this side, getting behind it, but where he's setting up looks like they're going to go just straight take out.
Live to fight another day.
Pegar even Pina? Altijd.
Stone is away. Tudor really working the broom, trying to hold it straight, make sure they get that one of them out. It does get rid of one, but catches theirs in the back. Oh no!
This
and
is
then
worst case because now
out.
the Yellowstone is back on the scoreboard, on the virtual scoreboard again. That Redstone was keeping the front yellow from being a shot stone, and now an opportunity here for Schrobkes to score 2 again.
Yeah, absolutely. And
All they need to do is split the house.
Yeah, wanting to get this one as
Yeah.
wide as they can.
If they split the house, then that leaves the
Ja, gewoon aan de
Romanian
zijkant.
team trying to do a perfect draw. If
Takeout
it's
to
not a
hard,
perfect draw, then it's an open takeout for 3. The second option is do a takeout, but then there's still an option for Schrobkes to score 2. So all of a sudden things look great for the Dutch team. The Tilburgers, sorry.
Tilburgers, yep. As they say on The Simpsons, things are coming up Millhouse.
Yeah.
But Bart has to make this first. He has to get it into the house. That's
Make sure everyone's
the
taking it.
important part, yeah. Bart reminding him, make sure it needs to be in.
Push hem als je kan.
It's going to be in now. It needs to be as wide as it can. Don't hold up on it yet. Hessel following it all the way in. Well placed.
Staat op.
Fout doen.
The way he's setting up, I feel like they're going for a double. So coming in off this side, hitting here, and rolling and taking that one out.
It's worth it, right?
It's a bold choice.
If you catch it, yellow's gone, and who knows, depending on where the shooter flies to, you can have that bonus double takeout. It's just a matter of not trying to be too perfect and then overcurl, miss, and allow for an open draw for 3.
Whoa. Whoa. Even.
Yep.
Look at this, the curl. This one's going to be on the outside edge of the nose. Gets rid of the 1, but open draw for 2 here.
Ja, hetzelfde. Als ik hem neus is het oké, hè? Oh. Ja, precies hetzelfde.
Going to run the same one, just draw it out towards their own. It's too heavy. They'll have some backing. Anywhere in the circles is enough for 2.
Als je niet veegt, rent hij hard. Dus dat
Weight feels
er
like
ook
it's
wel.
okay.
push hem
It's
niet.
definitely going to get there. Wanting to curl this over just to make sure it taps on the yellow. Want to make sure it doesn't tap that yellow one out. It does not, and then
Hey,
ends
on
up
the
there.
And what a way to put it on the pin. Doing it with a little bit of a semi-trick shot, but yeah, there it is. Another 2. Schrobkes leading 7-2. Halfway the game, I think they feel comfortable. They are the group winner. They are prepping to join the League A teams, and they are leaving their card here on the ice for all of the teams to notice. Hey, we're not just there to party along, we're here to challenge the League A teams. And if there are League A teams watching, I hope you've received that firm message from Team Dutch Schrobkes.
Coming off the ice to take an intermission. We will come into the booth. And what are your thoughts here on this first end? What are you seeing from Detroit Napoca, your pick?
Yeah, I can't say they are playing bad, but there was a couple of misses, especially on the takeouts. I think Bogdan missed a few, and then especially that second end. That was the kind of decisive end so far. Really good efforts there from Alan to come in and do some damage control. But then Bart followed up with an equally nice shot and scored 5. And that's
Equally, that's. I mean, come on, that was a fantastic, an amazing shot. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, the stone from Alan was kind of nice as well. So 2 very good stones, but Schrobkes end up with taking 5, and that kind of changes the way you. I think you set up, build up your strategy. You're not forced to risk things. You're even with the hammer, you're happy to just take 1. You're not forced to look for that second one or third one. So I'm curious to see how that will progress in the next couple of events here. But for sure, Detroit Napoca, they will have to look for options to to score big on their ends and their hammers, because that's going to be an important one to close that gap.
Yeah, even outside of Bart's amazing shot, they've been playing really well as a team. Haven't made any huge mistakes. I mean, or haven't even been punished for the mistakes they have made, getting Stone's guards into the house. They're taking out, but then the other team doesn't stay in. So it's really been going their way. They've been able to play a much more controlled, like play their own game and force the Romanians to take some stretches, maybe be a little bit more aggressive or try things to be a little too perfect, and then that's when things start going wrong. It's sounds counterintuitive when you're trying to make things perfect, but if you worry more about perfect, you miss good. And
yeah,
so,
there's this tolerance, this area of tolerance that's you're not kind of using sometimes as a plan B. But yeah, even in the ends where Detroit had the hammer, like the third ends, the Schrobkes, they were in control and they were able to force Detroit Napoca to just settle and draw for one, with the scary afterthought that if they would miss the draw, they would steal three. So even in those ends, it's not like they got away with Detroit scoring big. The Schrobkes is showing a very strong performance. It's no surprise they're top of the league. We know they're a strong team, and they had to show that some time. They were always the candidates to promote to League A, and they are now for sure. I'm looking forward to September, October to see how they will perform. But we have still 4 more ends to play, and their League B here, and Detroit Napoca. Good luck to the boys, and show you guys have some spirits to fight back. A nice comeback always works super good here on Curdia. That's something we can hype.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I've chosen Den Schrobkes and I'm rooting for them tonight, I personally love to see matches come down to the final stone or the final end. So let's hope we get an 8-ender. Let's see if the Romanian boys can get things going their way and try to get back into this match. So they are heading back out onto the ice, so we are as well.
Yep.
Just
practice slides there. You never be too perfect with your technique.
Yep. One last reminder, the poll closes at the end of this. I keep doing this. The poll closes at the conclusion of this end. So get your votes in. I see right now it's an even split. We've got 46% for both teams and 9% for a tie. So, lots of strategies out there. Dagmar will be leading things off here in end number 5 for Den Schrobkes as they lead 7-2 over Detroit Napoca.
Oké, make sure. Blijf wat langzaam. Oké.
It feels like it's
I like
slow,
A.
so wanting the sweepers to make sure. Going to get this as deep as they can, but that one is quite slow. That is a hog. And not in the delicious variety that makes bacon.
Right, options here. A rare mistake from Den Schrobkes, and is that a first sign of Detroit Napoca starting their big comeback here.
Yep. Comeback starts now. And those of you watching along, why don't you guys tell us how you feel about each of the teams? Is your team performing the way you expected it to? Do you think that they need to change something? Are they doing a good job? Let us know. This one drawing out, kind of over curled a bit to the outside. Leaves a high far corner guard. I'd say it's not been Tudor's best game so far. Been struggling hitting the spots.
Ja, lees toch iets dieper dan dat. Oké, mooi zo. All the way.
Wants this one deeper than the previous. Obviously,
Ja,
don't want a
zo
second
diep
hog.
mogelijk. Dit bij het huis ook.
Gets this one right up by the house on the center line. Mooie bal, as the Dutch are inclined to say. Even though this is not a ball sport. Oh, I just saw another vote for a tie come in.
People are just trying to
Nee.
kind of taunt us with the tie votes, maybe.
Daar de linie.
Because
Daar de
we're
linie.
calling
Linie
them
boeren.
out.
Daar de linie.
This one's going to be around the guard, but is it going to be too heavy? Nope.
Bravo.
Carries a little bit past T into the back of the four, but
Excellent.
solid stone. Looking to draw over to the wing.
I know he's just trying to race.
Yep.
the
Oh
race
no,
on top
yep,
of
sorry.
it.
Yep, sorry, I gotta clear out the
Hard.
center.
Always. Nice shot.
Oh, gets rid of the guard, opens things up.
So first bit
Ja, hij
of
is
analysis,
trap.
opening with a center guard, and then as soon as Detroit are able to come around, then trying to raise the center guard. Was that the plan they had in mind starting this end, not having the hammer?
No, I believe they wanted to have their first stone in the house, and it just ended up being light. And then the second one, I think, was to cover that up.
Daar de linie. Oh,
Starts to go real hard there.
Matro.
There's
Matro.
that spot. This is going to be another high, wide corner guard.
Hai, 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 hai. Atât. Îți am loc. Faci ceva la Rinis.
11.
I don't mind Tilburg opting for takeouts.
Yeah, at this point, I think they can start playing the scoreboard. I mean, really take away the scoring opportunities for
Yep.
Detroit Napoca and just kind of
Hard.
say, hey, we've got a 5-point lead.
Hard.
Let's just sit on that. If they take one, big deal.
Hard. Yep.
We'll
Nog
get the
wel.
hammer back. This one over curling. Is it going to get there? Nope, that's going to be just fine. Catches the red
Prima.
and actually rolls
je weer wat
over
knap.
half
Yep.
covered. So now that red corner guard makes it kind of tricky for Detroit Napoca if they want to go after it. There's a gap, but
Throw ăsta.
it's a line they haven't used, so how much is that going to curl or stay straight? I guess with that yellow behind the tee, they're just going to try to curl in around on top of it.
În afară. Unde-i? Pare 10. Wow! Furlește-o, furlește-o. Hai, furlește-o. Hai.
Trying to make this one curl over.
Wow.
Starts
Whoa.
to move, but is it too late? Yeah, it feels like it's just a little heavy, so that's going to curl,
Okay.
carry past. But I believe it's still sitting shot.
Zij liggen wel. Ja, ja, of ik dacht op 4. Oké. Yep, backing.
Looking like they're going to put this one in the top 4 in front of that red, but they have backing if it does carry a little bit heavy.
Makes
But
it
it-
harder to take it out afterwards with all of the
Yep.
stones behind them.
Nice, mooi. Beenlengte.
Just working to
Make
make sure this
sure,
one gets
rising,
all the way down. Yeah,
okay.
Bart wanting them to make sure it's in the
Dankjewel,
house.
Push hem. Push hem.
Not trying to
Blijf
get it to
kijken, waar
curl.
is hij? Waar is hij?
Just
Prima.
on the top of the button. Nice stone there from
Nu
Linda.
scoatem. Joci tot cu draw aici, da? Și o împărțim un pic. Deci tot cu tărie de draw. Dacă ajunge aici e ok, da?
So going to draw in behind, going to leave that yellow one there. Gonna try to draw in next to it. Get something in position first and then worry about that yellow one later.
I think it's a hit and roll.
Yep, with that weight, yes.
Hi, Susan. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi.
Going to unfortunately catch on the nose.
Oh.
Misses their own stone, gets it out the back.
The ant that was sitting on the side of that redstone is now squeezed. It was,
I think it's out.
very close.
You think it's in? It's
Trying to
close enough
decide.
that I'm fine with either.
Trying to decide if it's in or out.
Watching, I think it's out. Well, it's important. It feels like, okay, sure,
Okay, well, let's just.
it's not going to be shot, but then again, it can serve as
Do we
a
have a look?
jamstone.
I
So
don't
for
think they have a
that
look.
regard, it's
Oh, they
important to
use a
decide
card.
up front.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, we don't have a
Oh, they're going to
A
measure
90
with
degree.
Great, but I mean.
it looks straight, and you can see it.
well, just
I
the
think
edge.
Yeah.
I think it's.
All right, now is according to the flexible metallic or flexible magnetic scoreboard numbers we have, they've decided it's in.
Dan gooi je zij de dubbel 10 jou. Oké. Op zich is je marge iets overcurlen en de thing edit. Doe maar wat comfortabeler. Doe maar 9 dan.
Schrobkes has pulled it back ahead in the poll, 46% to 43%, with 11% choosing a tie, which I feel is picking a tie this late is like a vote for Detroit Napoca. They're really coming back, down 5.
Yep.
Big weight on this one.
Hard.
Trying to hold it straight.
Okay.
It's curling off late. That's going to pick off the one red and then rolls over behind cover. So,
Nice little roll there.
Ik hoop het split naar.
yeah, I think that's a good spot. Opens up, exposes the red there. Yellow sitting behind a guard. It's another one of those ends where the Romanians face a lot of trouble if they don't cover up and throw some good stones.
Linia e bună. Trebuie să cruzească. Trebuie să cruzească. Hai, pe tărie. Hai, Boogie.
Trying to make sure this gets down far enough. Getting it to curl over.
Whoa.
Not too deep.
Ok, bravo, bine mulțumesc.
Settles in right there
Hold up.
at the top. Maybe got it a little too deep. There is a run back double there. Yeah, Eric, they are setting up for a big steal here. This is an important stone, I think. I think if they can manage to get both of these reds out of here, that's going to be a big end for Don Schrobkes. I wonder if that's enough ice, though. We've seen these stones along the center line, even takeouts have been curling quite a bit. He's going to have to put some good weight behind it. Ooh, he feels tight, too.
Hard.
Straight away, that's going to get the one, kind of clips over, and now it's covering up that red in the back there.
And who's sitting shot? Still yellow, or I think red is the shot.
I think
stone.
red is still shot stone, yeah.
Alan is looking at it from where I'm looking. I'm guessing red. It's
Yep.
hard to know for sure. They'll have to measure with that number 4 again at some point. But they're not sure as well. They're
Yeah, they're taking
they're
a
second
peek.
guessing, and it's important to figure out because
That's close enough.
Okay? Yeah.
If I'm Alan,
Be careful.
I'd be trying to either draw something in between, and even if it came up above, that would be also okay. You don't need to get it perfectly buried, but just something in between that that yellow. Ooh, looks like he wants to come through the outside. That's a possibility as well. They have the hammer, so they want to try to leave that leave the center open, but I think that takeout from Bart, I think he was just inside straight off the release, and unfortunately caught the opposite side of the nose that they needed.
And again, Detroit Napoca, they have the hammer, but they even struggle to make sure they even win their hammer ends, let alone getting that hammer efficiency.
Hi. Hi.
Eric's saying avoid the double and look to the other side. Yeah, that's a fairly good plan. This one coming up light, it is going to kind of guard over the top, so we'll take away the run back, but not helpful.
No, that guard just helps Schrobkes to just come around and bury yet another stone. It curls enough to just get something in the 4 foot behind all of those guards.
Yeah, if they could get in something on top of that red there, that's
yeah, that's
Of
where
die
you want it.
echt richting die vries gaan, dan kan je
Yeah.
gewoon
Detroit Napoca again in trouble, even on their own hammer.
betekent dat je
2 stones left to get your votes in.
dus
Chat. Don't forget.
Yeah, that was the case in the third end where they even had to fight to just make sure they win their hammer end, and kind of a similar situation right now.
Zo. Wijd. Heel wijd.
Feels like it's
Push him
wide.
achteraan.
Wanting it to curl over. I think it curls late. They might be okay if they stay off it.
It's heavy.
No, that's going to be an okay. Ooh, it is going to come behind the tee.
That was a very confident no, but it is heavy.
Oh, but does that stop short?
It is
It's
sitting
that
slightly better than red, I think.
It feels like it, yeah.
The only good thing for Detroit Napoca is it is serving as a bit of a backing if they wanna make a draw.
I think that's what they should do. Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, it was better top 4 than back 4. The stone for the Schrobkes, so that was definitely too heavy. And a good draw is one thing, and maybe they're gonna measure to figure out whether they score 1 or 2. The way they're not sure right now. Good hint that we're going to see a measurement in a few minutes.
Bring out the measuring device.
Yeah, we don't have the biter instrument. That's something we missed today again.
Important stone for Alan here. Needs to be there inside the 4, and then they have to look for, hopefully, their second shot as well.
Needs to curl a lot. It stays wide, trying to sweep for curl, but will it curl enough?
This
Starts to come in.
Yep, that one's going to be okay. It's going to get the tap. So the score of 1.
1 for sure, and I will have to wait and see.
I think they might have to measure. They're looking, both the vices are looking at it. So you can pull that one away. Yep, that was for sure 1. I think if they have to go back and forth that many times, they should just go get the measurer.
Yeah, because again, you don't know for sure whether the paint is correct to the millimeter, so it's important to know, and they're gonna measure.
Has anybody gone? Nope, nobody's going to get the stick, so
Oh.
I hope they're not looking for us to get it. Oh, yep, Bart went down and got it. I didn't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
him. He was behind our backdrop.
Yeah, right behind the light rails. It was lighting there, coming into the house. And no overhead cam on sheet C. Try to get a good glimpse anyway.
The house cams, Eric, are on sheet B, and they're a bit difficult to move quickly. So whenever we have to move the cameras to sheet C, we don't have the overhead.
And
So
it's red, so it's
it
two
is
reds.
red. So 2 for red. That's a important stone there for Detroit Napoca.
Yeah, they need that extra points. They need all the extra points they can get. 7-4. It's not a lost cause, just 3 points. They'll have to steal.
That's what we wanted, Eric, but the schedule makers decided otherwise. So we are at their mercy. So
Feels super quiet in here because only one match going on, and I don't think there's a lot of folks here at the canteen.
no, they all left. There was a group of the Luxembourgers were in the canteen, kind of having a drink, and then they all left at once. So it got very quiet in here. The Arctic Foxes have finished their training and have gone home as well. So
You almost said Huskies there.
I almost did. Yep, you're correct, Eric. Yep,
Okay.
it's Dirk again.
Bravo.
Dirk again.
Needing to put on her gripper.
Yeah.
Oh.
Last time she was on stream, she smacked her face with her own broom.
Oh, that's right. So we can close the poll. I said we would close it at the end of the 5th. We have it. So
That's right.
even split here on the votes.
Hard on.
44%, 44%,
Omar.
and then 10%
Omar.
taking a tie. So was that 2 house the beginning of the comeback? And oh no, another hog, a very serious hog on that one.
Yeah.
Stuttgart and 3.
So you see, what happened was I dropped the stone, but no. My lip reading is probably worse than my Dutch, so
Interior. Full day. What?
so
No, you're okay,
opportunity
okay.
here
You're
for
okay.
Detroit Napoca. This one feels heavy. It's definitely wide of the
Okay,
guard.
fast
Will
one.
that curl over enough?
That's good. I have.
Starting to move, but that's going to be behind the tee. Please be behind the tee. Technically, sort of behind the tee. But is exposed. More of it's behind the tee than not.
Good fear.
So backing for Den Schrobkes. They're going to try to draw this one in.
Ja, lijnlengte. Oké, stop. Lijnlengte, make sure. Hij rent hard af, denk ik. Blijf gaan.
Wanting the
That's
sweepers to
okay.
make sure.
Always. Diep mogelijk.
With it going to stop too soon.
Yeah. Bart even said it as it was coming down. Once it slows, it slows quickly. So
This is an interesting guard for Detroit Napoca. You have 2 center guards. Basically not what you want. As the Schrobkes allow
Draw.
Detroit Napoca to come back into the game by putting some guards and
Yeah, they've got 2 guards. They've got a rock on the pin, and now they get a 3rd shot to go to get something in there and guard things up. So that's
Đây. Ra dây linie.
it could really be the comeback starting.
Linie muốn không? Ra dây linie. Hai cắt sẽ phải hai cắt. Hai.
Wanting to make sure it gets down. This one will start to curl right after the hog line. There it goes.
Flintstone here. And look at this setup. Is there a
Kijk,
bit
de
of a double?
maar als je de guard hebt is het oké. Wel
Yep,
gewoon
yep.
kiel.
Yeah, it looks like about half the stone
Ja, ik
is
denk als je
uncovered,
dubbel kan
so
maken, is het wel mooi, maar wacht dat je die kiel wel, ja.
I feel this is an important takeout.
yep. But they do have options. If they get rid of that guard, that's also okay. We
Yep.
heard Bart say that. If he catches it over on the left side of the stone, it should be a double.
Push.
Worst
Trying to
case
get
is
this
being
curl
wide.
over. Yeah, do not want this to flash. And that is going to catch part of it. It does jam, but it does catch the one in the back. So, well done for Hessel.
And fortunately, the angles were in a way that the double didn't happen.
Yeah, it definitely needed to curl, be a little bit tighter to the nose. Second chance for Bogdan to get this one in tighter. Calling for sweep on the line, so he feels like it is tight.
Oh, wow.
That just sneaks past the red
Oh,
and the
wow.
yellow, and wow, that's Fen.
What a stone.
Amazing. What a stone there. Great sweep.
Yeah. Credits to the sweepers for holding the line there, dodging not one but 2 guards and burying it in a place, putting pressure on the Schrobkes here. I think everybody watching the stream held their breath for a couple of seconds, seeing that stone past 2 guards.
Jeroen would have lost all his remaining hairs.
Well, push him. Well.
I don't think Caro would be very happy if that happened. Gets it, peels off the red, opens it up. I think we're going to see another
Guards. Yeah.
guard here
Guard.
from the Romanians. Yep.
2 great stones in the house. A steal of 2 would be huge, would bring them back into the game. How long can they defend here? How long can they hold the fortress?
Yep. The Romanians not going down without a fight. Trying to claw their way back into this match, putting pressure on Schrobkes.
And the question here, did the Schrobkes allow a bit too much guards in this and in the previous one?
Trying to make sure it's getting over the hog. They're going to get to extend the curl. Nope, that's going to stay out wide.
A run back option for the Schrobkes. Good work here. Still a double takeout possibility here. They get the angle right.
Yep, I think they've got some leeway here too. It doesn't have to be millimeter perfect. They can got a bit of a little bit of an angle here. Feels on the wider side though. Is that going to have enough time to curl over and get it, or is it just going to peel off the guard? Just peels it off. Not what they wanted, but it's still helpful. It's going to force Napoca to throw another guard.
Yeah, well, the big disadvantage, of course, is now that yellow's gone, so they can not run into the house anymore. And then if Detroit Napoca puts up a good guard, And the Schrobkes might not
Monday. Stop.
win their hammer in here.
You're asking if Detroit is back on track, and it feels like it. The momentum seems to have swung back in their direction.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
There is still, of course, always the
Okay.
draw and the forefoot
Perfect.
to do damage control and just reduce the scoring for
dat is
Detroit
waar, gooi je nu.
2-1. That's an option
Ja.
that's always on the table.
We gaan de dubbel proberen.
Just seen, yeah.
Okay.
I just heard Bart say, let's draw
Ja,
in.
doe maar.
Oh, I think he said we were going to try the
Gewoon
double.
hetzelfde gooien als
Oh,
net. Dan zit je-
okay, changed his mind.
There's no harm in just throwing in some weight there.
Yep.
Maximum concentration here for Linde.
Crowd falls silent.
Yep,
Stone is away, good
Yep.
release.
yep.
Put some weight behind it.
Hard.
Trying to keep this one running a little bit on the outside part of the nose. Could run into the house, but no, just
Right.
curls over a little bit, and
Yeah.
this replaces one guard with another.
Yeah. And what is Detroit going to do? Are they going to draw right behind it? Yeah, I think that makes sense. And Schrobkes struggling to tear down those guards so far.
Yep. They're definitely more of a finesse team. They like throwing a lot more draws and guards. Sometimes that gets into.
Don't think mine was up.
Oh. I have a brick. I was about to throw it to Dirk's head because he was taunting us by pulling the plug on our streaming setup. Wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time this weekend.
No.
As a fourth, you kind of like these situations where you're just throwing
Just don't please.
throwing guards.
Naar de linie.
Yeah, but
de
guards are
linie.
pretty important though. Like a missed guard can turn
High to the
times.
door. High to the door.
This
Hi,
one is
Peter!
light. Ooh, they don't want this to
Hi!
open up that yellow. It's gonna tap on the yellow.
Ah,
Well, there's a
Not the
gap
worst.
there, but they can't really do anything with it.
No, it's not the worst. It was scary.
Kijk, ik weet niet of ik kan niet shot komen. Ik kan ook niet second. Maar,
Yeah, they're
toch?
looking
Ja,
at
ik
it,
kan
but
hier misschien
it's
second.
he doesn't think he can get through that gap
Ik denk,
and be
hij
second
klopt niet best wel
shot.
hard op het
So
eind, dus ik zit dan op die vloer.
possibly hack weight, but I still don't know how much of that top red they would get. It wouldn't catch anything of the shot
Ik
stone.
kan, dan
So
niet, ik kan bijna niet dubbel spelen. Ligt niet te spelen. Ik denk ja, Wessel.
they're gonna go for
Ja,
the draw
doe
option.
maar half, drie kwart achter.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just want to get a stone in there.
Get something to sit, just here, corner
Yeah.
freeze, and they can try to play it away later.
Yeah.
Do some damage control.
And even if it's second shot, I think they're gonna be very happy with a second shot stone there. Takes away a bit of the danger.
Yeah.
Reason for
Giving up one would only, they'd have the hammer, they would still have a 2-point lead, and they can try to reset in the next end.
Ja, alleen lengte. Oké, hard dan.
Gotta make sure this gets down there. Feels a bit on the lighter side. It's gonna get around the guards, but it's gonna curl in and only get to not even get into the house. So
Oh.
feels like the pressure is getting to Den Schrobkes.
Yeah.
Momentum has certainly swung in the favor of the Redstones, and
Definitely. Schrobkes entering the break with a very comfortable 7-2 score lead. but the time to relax was only during that 4-minute break because on the ice, the Romanians are working hard on their comeback, and so far they're doing good job here. Oh. Trying to come in the gap and just bite top 12 somewhere, or
I mean, honestly, even a guard in that gap takes away any kind of opportunity to move a red out of the way. So. Alan with this final stone here in the 6th end.
The only risk is touching the guards. That's the one thing they do not want. The guards were setting very nicely for them, and all of a sudden...
Now it opens up another path, an easier path. That's
a mistake, kind of a big mistake. They were setting up for a steal of 2, and by clearing their guards, they gave Bart a lifeline to draw to the 4-foot, and that was the one and only thing they
could not do.
Avoid,
yeah.
Still hard to draw and win the end, but
I think there's enough. I mean, just the side of the button is enough. I think
not much room.
Oh no, it's
the
certainly
shot stone is really touching the white there, the inner white.
It's definitely a tiny target, but now the target is open. So
yeah.
Yep, I score, Mark.
Oh, it's inside and light. That's gonna catch curls over quite a bit.
Expensive miss. And just imagine if Alan was able to get it kind of touching the top 12 there, would have been a steal of 3, but now a steal of 2 is equally strong. 7, 6, and we have 2 more ends to play.
Yeah, so, that's not the type of end you're gonna that's gonna play. You know, as much as that 5 end lifted Bart and then Schrobkes up, that kind of end is definitely going to knock them down, and you definitely don't want that at the end of the game. It definitely gives all of the momentum back to the Romanians. They are going to take advantage of it. I think they're going to try to take advantage of it here in the 7th end. As we head into the 7th end, they lead it, or they're trailing 6-7, but a big steal of 2 there gets them right back into this match.
And strategy-wise, the time where the Schrobkes could just play the scoreboards and be kind of risk averse, that time is gone.
Yep.
Have to fight for every stone again.
They're saying weird mistake in the 6th. Yeah, that was uncharacteristic of Bart.
Yeah, I think the Schrobkes wasn't able to just clear those guards, keeping things open and attack stones in the house. And the fact that there were guards in the first place is a question mark.
Wayne saying his tie is still in the cards. Yes, Wayne, your tie is still alive.
Just imagine this actually ends up in a tie, and that one voter who said scoreboard 7-2 tie. Enter the enter the poll.
Yep.
Fortunately for Tudor, his stone just curled off the center line, so able to be ticked, not taken away, but they're trying to curl this one out around, set up a corner guard. They really don't want to tick this one back onto the center line, but it goes into the house, so not a complete disaster.
I think Napoca likes this one. They can replace the center guard. They can even come around the yellow stone and have 2 nice stones sitting in the top 12 there.
Yep.
So see how this plays out.
Linea bună. Safe. Pare tare.
This one quite wide though, not going to curl over to where he wants it.
Can I tap red behind the guards as a alternative option?
It'll tap it in that direction, but not quite hard enough. So
Elf.
both threads in the house, so they can actually go with this. Maybe do a hit and roll over on their own. Looks like that's what they're setting up for.
Yep.
Feels tight. Yeah, that's already starting to curl over on that center line.
Yesterday, that side started to curl really hard at some point.
Yep, there it goes.
Hold
And that's going to catch the top red. Is it going
Okay,
to try to roll
keep
it
up.
over? It's at half buried. Alan's saying, let's put up something high center guard.
Yeah,
Gonna
makes
protect
sense.
that red. They're still sitting shot. They want to keep this momentum going.
Buôn đây. Đi ngay Vũ nữa. Ngay Vũ nữa. Dog so three. Dog so three.
This one curling over a little too much, going
Okay.
to leave that red exposed
Okay.
and kind of set up a double guard for the yellow there.
Yeah, too bad. They needed a good
Klein
guard here.
beetje. Maar je wilt
Nou,
niet dat ze hier achter kunnen komen. Elf.
The Schrobkes, they're going to attack, get rid of the redstone.
Yep.
Now at this stage of the game, do
Yep,
they want
hard.
their shooter to stay
Hard.
and kind of block up the middle, or they want it to roll
Hard,
away a little
like-
bit, keep it kind of open? This one just squeaks past the guard, gets by theirs, and then rolls
Bij
over
die trap.
next to it. You know, ideally when you have the hammer,
Vincent, kom maar hier.
you keep the center open,
Huh?
but right now it's two of their stones. They've got some
Vincent,
guards.
kom maar hier.
It'd be difficult to get something completely buried behind those two yellow stones in the house.
Yep.
But that's exactly what Bogdan has been asked to do. Get in there, get behind it.
Even if it's half buried, at least you kind of force your opponent to go for a takeout and not miss it. So
Laat je het gewoon winnen.
I think
Yeah.
also that side has a bit of
Doe net
curl.
eruit, Jas. Dat is een
Could
beetje
be-
vanaf en
Yeah,
tot
this
aan,
one
draw.
does. So
Yeah, and you have that yellow guards kind of touching the wheelchair line there. So there is plenty of space to get to the 4-foot and find some protection.
Linia bună. Da de tărie, da de linie, da de linie, da. Da de
falling
linie,
hard
da.
for the line.
Da, excellent. Hai, că vine. Hai că vine. Hai acum, hai până la capăt. Hai.
Gets around
hai,
that
tare,
top
mișto,
one.
hai.
Just clips on the red or on the yellow, and does a Swedish curl into the
Yeah,
shot
Matra.
Yeah,
position.
this shot. Oh, just imagine if it would have squeezed
Dat dacht
behind
ik
all of
ook.
the guards
Denk
again,
gewoon
like we've
deze
seen in
die
the
line
previous end
lengte.
there. It helps them. I mean, they can just nudge it in with a follow-up stone again.
Yep. So Schrobkes have the same opportunity here. They can draw in around behind it, and if they're lighter, they can tap theirs in. Eric cheering on Schrobkes, trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
will them to the finish.
This is such a tense moment in the game. Like any team doing a very good draw here
Oh.
could
Hij is heel wijd. Push hem,
give your
push
team a
hem.
little bit of a.
Feels like it's wide,
Push hem all the way.
asking Linda to curl it over.
Ja, top. Is niet heel hard. Ja,
And
maar.
it's hard too. So with that extra sweeping, it's going to carry back. Alan going to try to do his best to carry it deeper than his.
Yeah, that was
and I
important.
believe that is.
It
Yeah.
is immediately double checking. Red is sitting shot.
Ja?
I almost feel like
No,
they
no,
should have
keep
just
it
called
on.
the sweepers off and
Right.
hopefully it
Now
would
don't
slow
put
down
any
and
of that
curl
roll.
on its
Look
own
at
to
my
chip
side.
off that yellow. It did not, or they did not. So
Well,
now
if it chipped off yellow, it would have ended in a spot where the Detroit could use it as a hit and roll to come around.
Matura de linha. Dá de linha.
Christian going for a little
Dá de
tap
linha.
back here.
Dá.
Trying to
Ai.
hold the line though. This one feels tight.
Ai.
Screaming like a crazy person, but Noah catches that yellow.
Oh no, and by touching the yellow stone, all of a sudden the shot red stone is exposed, and Alan is not happy with this one.
Yeah.
This is a miss that is a double miss. Not only did they not get the result they wanted, but they gave the Schrobkes an extra opportunity to clear the danger. That red stone was sitting strong there. It was annoying Bart and his team so much, and now it's out there.
Eric saying easy tap back, lucky break. Yeah, that was a very lucky break for Don Schrobkes there. Should be able to just get rid of this red. They would leave the yellow sitting there. Kind of a wall of yellow sitting at the top of the 12-foot. Still access to the button from that right side, but...
Yeah, but that was such an important stone. Just a little nudge and they're set up for a steal again. But now Schrobkes, they could take care of the redstone, and once red is gone, the house could look very good.
Is this tight? Calling for the sweep right away, needing to get around that top guard.
It's inside, touching front guard already.
They've come off of it. Maybe they can get the red onto the yellow, and they don't want it to cover. Well, actually, that's not a bad stone. Bad position for...
It's something, but the nudge is still there. You can still try and get red behind the yellow ones.
Yeah.
They're going for a draw first. Is that a smart choice? Because the Schrobkes could still get rid of that redstone.
Mr. Flowy, dit is ook iets.
Yes,
This is
something,
something. Yes, this is also something. Yeah, very enthusiastic part.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got it. It's a good quality to have in a skip that to try to remain positive in the face of a bad shot.
Trying to look for a positive angle, ending up with saying it's something. Ooh, starting to curl in real nice here.
Oh,
Can they drag it in? It's
No, it
not the
seemed to
waves.
just like kind of slowed down and curled hard. So wondering if it maybe picked something. Starting to hear the frustration on the skips.
Because they have options. The Schrobkes, they are making a few mistakes here and there. So if they're able to punish those mistakes, they can take the next step in this huge comeback.
Schrobkes have to be careful that this stone that they hit it on the outside, or a nose hit, that red runs onto the yellow in the back. So I kind of want to be a little bit on the outside of this yellow.
Important one. Romania not opting to nudge their stone themselves, allowing Schrobkes to throw this stone.
Push.
Yeah, Wayne, I think you're right. The ice is losing the pebble, is getting down towards the end. Later ends. Is that going to chip off the red?
Oh, wait a
Well,
minute.
not a disaster.
No,
It does
it's-
get in.
The nudge is not there anymore because that yellow one just squeezed slightly in front of it. And now...
Well, you still do have a nudge back. You can
Yeah.
still get it into. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really just getting it into the 8-foot is going to make it shot. So, Norma, hello.
Hi, Roma. Tapping in the most exciting part of the game. Well, exciting. First end was exciting because we see some spectacular stones, a big house. But now in this stage of the game, it's exciting because it's tense.
Yeah.
And I think it's super tense out there because they are the only team who's playing. For the rest, it's quiet. Night is starting to fall here in Zemst.
We're inside with no windows. It could be. Well, then normally you just have to go back and watch the match, watch the replay.
Yep.
Later, of course. Stay
Yeah,
tuned
but
in now to see how it works. Although if you see the
still
ending,
different.
you're not going to want to watch the. Yeah.
True. Like in sports, you cannot really relive the same type of tension as watching things live happen.
Sure you can. If you don't know anything about it, you watch it
Yeah.
as it's live. But it's very hard to avoid spoilers at times. So
Yeah.
Hi, boogie, boogie, boogie.
Put that
Boogie.
back. Can they boogie it in?
Hi, boogie.
Curl or not?
this one on the outside is going to tap against the yellow. Doesn't really get it.
What are the options at this point? Takeout is there, but as you said, John, that jam is also out there. One thing we know for sure is yellow is sitting shots.
Kijk op zich. Nee, dat denk ik ook. Ik denk gewoon ook voor de zekerheid. Heel mooi.
Ooh, wants to throw a peel for the to be sure.
That makes sense. I mean, even if it catches the yellow one, if it's hard enough and it's catching it on the side,
precies.
it goes out.
Hij komt
So
goed. Liefst no. Denk ik.
Yeah, this is where the overhead would be good to see. We could kind of scout out the angles, but
and Bart peel it out.
got some weight behind this one. Trying to color it over.
Pak hem dit.
Oh, and
fine.
gets that
It's
jam,
out.
but it does go out, so
And that kind of confirms the argument of throwing some heavy weight. That with the weight, even the jam was avoided. And Bart is probably relieved. That annoying redstone that was bugging them all end long
yeah.
is now finally sitting with his friends against the bumper.
And Alan kind of left with really just drawing in, trying to find something in through this gap. It's not going to be easy, but they need to try to get something in there.
It is possible. And even just if it's not fully buried, just getting it shot.
Yep.
Puts pressure on Schrobkes once more.
Yep.
Atas.
It is possible. And Linde and Bart, they're crossing their fingers.
Matra.
Tudor really trying to hold this
I
one.
think it's over curling. It's over curling.
No, this one is going to be light.
Yeah, this is over curling, and I think this is maybe a GG because we'll have to call 1, 2, 3.
Well, there's
stones
still
for
one
yellow.
more stone. There's
Yeah.
still one more, and a possibility of 5 here.
Yeah, I mean it's a draw for 4, and it's a possibility for 5. Yeah, to just take out reds with
Yeah.
a clean nose hit. It's 5 and it's GG.
Gewoon van peel.
So I think we'll see a final stone of the game here.
Well,
But
they need,
Okay.
well, for 5, they
for
need to
5.
not be a nose hit. It needs to be on the inside. Back of the stone is just sticking out of the house, so
just a stone that gets rid of the red
Yep.
stone is a GG stone.
yep. 5 house would certainly end it. Yeah, hit that left yellow just right of the nose. Send that red one shooting away, and that's enough.
Yeah, I think 5 or 4 it wouldn't even make a difference.
No. This
Both
one
scenarios,
coming
I think we'll see
through.
handshakes.
Boom, boom, boom. Everything
Oh.
stays in there, and
And
that
that's
is
5.
a 5 house for them. And there we go. We see
Thanks for
some
game.
handshakes.
And a big ender, a second 5 on the scoreboard. So
Thank you.
a
De ice was.
a great result for Dutch Schrobkes. Some big scoring, and they finished the game. They won 3 ends, but they scored a lot of points, and those 3 ends well played from both teams, and they made it very exciting. Everybody here was rooting for an exciting game coming down to the last couple of stones. Even maybe a spectacular comeback was always on the table.
Yeah, it got tense there at the end. Unfortunately for the Romanians, it just fell apart a little bit in that seventh end, and Bart was able to hit a couple of nice shots and swing things his way and kind of secure the victory. So I get to add yet another one to my total, giving me a 2-point lead over Pim in our season-long series.
Yeah, John is close to getting to play the scoreboard himself at some point. But yeah, I think you'll probably be super happy if you're done Schrobkes winning the game, but will you still kind of rewatch end 5 and 6 and kind of consider what went wrong? How did we allow to let our opponents come back in a game where we basically had a huge point lead? They made maybe a couple of mistakes, could also be misexecution, but they made it more close than they probably would have guessed right around the break time.
Yeah, I think that any competitive team, they're going to be happy that they got the win, but they are going to go look back at where things went wrong and go, okay, why did we give up this? What happened here? And it's how you learn. You learn from your mistakes. You see on the way to grow and get better as a team. So
yeah, credit to Team Romania for fighting back so hard, and was not easy. They had to steal a second time and maybe even steal a third time, which is super hard to do. But the guards were there, so they were given that opportunity, and they seized that opportunity, and unfortunately it didn't quite work. And a second thing I was wondering, remember when they opted to draw over on the right side instead of trying to nudge over on the left side? Is that something they might reconsider, like did we miss out on an opportunity there? But it's always easy to say if the plan you had in mind didn't worked. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden the other plan becomes a better plan. It all comes down to execution, and I think the Dutch Schrobkes were slightly better tonight in that regards.
Yep. Alistair, congratulations to Dutch Schrobkes winning. No, it wasn't not winning the A League. They won the B League. Now they will be getting promoted to the A League. So, but they had already won this coming into tonight. This was just sort of the cemented. The 6 wins, 1 draw, 13 out of a maximum 14 points. So a fantastic spring round for Dutch Schrobkes. We'll see them starting in the fall in League A. Looking forward to that. That's been it for us tonight. I think we're having a pretty good time. It's been a fantasy league for Curdia. That's actually a pretty good idea, Norma. I've got some ideas that I'm going to work on over the summer to kind of help people get more connected and more involved in the streams and finding their favorite teams, doing things like that. So that's a pretty good idea. I'm going to look into that. But that's it for us for this weekend and possibly for the season. The next set of...
Oh, wait a minute. We have some,
sorry.
Things we don't want to forget, because if you want to beat Dutch Schrobkes, which is extremely hard to do, you have the chance to beat them at their own home turf in their first tournament. So if you think, right, that Bart, he's a nice bloke, he can throw a couple of nice stones, but I can do better. Well, they challenge everybody out there to visit them in Tilburg and beat the Tilburgers. And there is some dinner in the evening, maybe also some burgers from Tilburg. Who knows?
Yep, 4 games, 1 day. €200 per team, €50 for extra players. Day ends with a buffet, so sounds pretty good. Tilburg is a lovely city, or so I've been told. I've not been there yet, but maybe I will be there. You never know.
Yeah, so time for our predictions, John. The buffet in Tilburg. Broodjes croquettes, croquettes sandwiches, or maybe still the brown fruit basket, the fritured snacks. They have a lovely food culture up north, and as Belgians, we are obliged to make comments like that. But no, the buffet will obviously be super good, and
it'll be herring and pickled herring, and croquette sandwiches, and peanut butter and milk. So thank you guys for watching. Like I was saying, this might be our last broadcast of the season. Pim's significant other is pregnant and is going to be due around the next weekend of broadcasts. So we'll be kind of touch and go as whether or not we'll be able to go. Hopefully I can get Bram to help me out, but if not, it's been a pleasure showing you guys matches this season. Maybe we have some doubles matches coming up.
Doubles matches. The whole Carolus Cup is coming up late in the season as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, but Okay, so forget I said anything. Pim's expecting a baby soon. We'll see what happens. We'll make an announcement later. But that's been it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Click a like on the button. Follow us on our social media, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.